really good. How did when you look at that game, as dominant as they were, did you feel, you were in it at any point?
No, not today. I think for us, our performance on who we are was not good enough, was not up to our expectations and our standards. Taking nothing away from LA, I think that they have a very, very solid roster. The talent in their locker is very high level, and you see that today. We give 2 goals away in the first half that are too sloppy, too easy, and teams at that quality with the roster that they have will punish you. And that's why they are where they are in the standings. So for us, it was, yes, we're not taking nothing away from LAFC. Their hot run continues. Fantastic team, very well coached, a lot of talent all over the field, as we know. But you can still find ways, we can still find ways to win football games. Maybe it's not based on talent for talent, quality for quality, but the work ethic, the mentality is where then that has to shine, and you can't give away goals that we gave away today. So that's what kind of got us down early, and then from there we were just always chasing.
Yeah, what's the impact of that first goal? Because you don't want to give a team like them easy chances, and it seems like the longer you can keep them off the board, the better it is.
Yeah, I think so. We had one early chance with Klausy slipped Sangi in early, coming off the left side. Hugo comes out as big, obviously makes a 1v1 stop on him. Those are the plays that you have to convert, get a 1-0 lead and build off momentum. Because they're the earlier moments in the game where, it's teams are going back and forth trying to still adjust and figure out the tactics. But once we let them get settled at our home stadium tonight on the ball and control the game as much as they controlled it, that defensive performance wasn't good. And then you tack that on with, again, the mistakes that we made tonight. Made it a long night for us.
Were emotions high out there? It looked like there was a lot of pushing and shoving and sniping as that game went on.
I mean, I think so. We feel the energy that these guys give a lot, even when we're in situations where we're down. I felt like there was small moments where we were competitive, which allowed us to be feisty or snipey in that moment. But there was also moments where we got played around way too easy as well. So I think some of the built-up anger in their moments for the individuals that make these types of tackles is, you're chasing shadows for 89 minutes. You finally get close to them. Sometimes you want to take a shot. But I think we just need to be better at not being reckless in moments and being more disciplined and defending just better as a group.
Justin?
Coach, just kind of looking at the second half, momentum did shift a little bit after the subs that you made. Some of that's game state, I know, but as like Tullin and Morales come in and then Pompeo and Joyner come on, did you like a little bit of what you saw from those moments of that adjustment of kind of bringing some of that intensity back? I
did. I felt like that was probably one of the few highlights that I'll actually bring up is our guys that went into the game tried to impact it. All those names absolutely impacted. I thought Alfie done really good stepping in, controlling the game when he could control the game. Celio looked dangerous at times when he got on the ball, especially with some space to take. And then I thought Totland and Mackay done some good jobs late in the game trying to push on their last line and get opportunities. So, yeah, I felt the groups came in, the individuals that came in helped the group tonight. But again, we were in a position where, like you said, game state, they're up 3-0. They're just managing that game, absorbing our pressure. And even when they were up 3-0, looking for moments to counter through Son or through Bawanga. So they had a couple moments there as well.
And then tapping Morales in that moment, is that just wanting some stability in the midfield because he does kind of anchor a little bit more?
Yeah, Alf, you said Alfie, right? Yeah, he does a good job. He's aggressive defensively. I think he had a couple of slide tackles today, a couple of big moments where he helped the group out, and then he does a good job on the ball as well. So he's a complete midfielder. He uses experience in games like that well. So I thought he came on and used his experience for us, trying to slow it down when we needed to, and speed it up when we needed to as well. But when you try to speed the game up against a team like that, sometimes it actually hurts you more than helps you.
We're going back with Steve.
Coach, Steve Hahn here from FIFA.com. I have a question about Sangbin. I noticed that he played on the left side today. Primarily, I feel like he's been playing on the right for you guys ever since he's arrived. So what was sort of like your intention putting him on the left? And also, if you could talk a little bit about how he's settled since he arrived from Minnesota. I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it was a decision we made on a couple of factors. One is trying to isolate him off the left side well with his speed. Secondly, you couple that with Brendan McSorley's coming off 2 goals, 1 assist and a goal line clearance from the right side of the field a week earlier. So it was one of those that you balance those 2 decisions, and I think it's a good formula. You know, for Sangi and McSorley and Celio and all of our wingers, I expect that they at this level should play on both sides effectively of the field. I thought they had good moments, especially early in the game. They'd done a good job isolating him, but finding his biggest strength with his speed and taking that away from him kind of didn't help him in them moments. Second part of the question, he's settled in well. I think he comes out, he trains well, he's got a good mentality, looks to improve himself every day, whether it's with the team or staying behind, doing some individual work as well. So I've liked what I've saw with his mentality with the group so far.
You feel like since he's gotten back from the Korean national team, that was his return to the national field for the first time in like 4 years. Do you feel like that's given him a big boost in confidence since he's gotten back?
I think so. I think you look at, anytime you get that call up, it does increase your confidence. He's come into our group from Minnesota and got significantly more playtime as well, which naturally increases a player's confidence also. So he's a confident young man tonight. I'm sure he'll tell you he probably didn't have his best game and wanted to rise to the occasion of what it was tonight. But yeah, he keeps getting better every single week.
We'll go on Zoom to Rockio.
I know you talked about the goals already, but goals number 2 and 3, the defense just kind of sits back and lets the run come to them. Sun gets a lot of time at the top of the box. The defenders don't step out and take away Denny at any point in that play. Just what were your thoughts on the goals? Not necessarily being plays where you're beat. The team gets beat, but the one-on-one moments maybe not stepping up.
Yeah, that's just where we have to get better on the field with our decision making. I will say something we talked about this week in our training environment was when we feel like they break our pressure and we see Son and Bawanga running at us, we do need to eliminate space behind. But at some point, you've got to step and not let him dribble inside 8, 9, 10 yards and tuck one in the corner. So in their moments, we just have to read them better as individuals. We definitely need to try to take away their strength, which is runs behind, but you've got to step at some point, as you'd mentioned, and put a block in there. So that's for goal number 2. Goal number 3, it's something that's conceded on us several times, especially early in the season, which we put enough players in front of the ball to block it, but somewhere it keeps trickling through. We've got to defend individually better in their moments. There's no escape around it. There's nothing I can say other than we've just got to be better defending inside our own box in them big moments.
And then it seemed like Sung Bin was kind of crashing inside as a secondary striker. I know you guys have done that a lot, but considering his move from that striker position to the right wing this year for Brendan McSorley, what was the decision-making process to have Sung be the one crashing more as a secondary striker?
I think just like they are, in my opinion, the best team in the league at counter-attacks and transition, that was something that we felt like we might hit their back 3 in as well. We have to know the opponent we play. We knew we weren't going to get on the ball and dictate a game with 65, 70% possession. So finding transitional moments, trying to find moments where we could be a little bit direct and getting behind. I think you saw one action very early, which we were successful at, but Lloris makes a good recognition of that moment and comes off the line. But we just have to know the type of opponent we're playing and find where their weaknesses are. You're not going to pin them back a lot and overpossess them a lot in games, but you can get after them in a direct fashion. And that was one of our objectives to try and do. And Sangi was one of those personnels that we felt like might have been able to get in behind and find a 1v1.
We'll go to Drew, then finish with Tom.
Hey, Coach, going down 2-0 at half, what was your message to the guys?
You can't give the ball away the way we gave the ball away in situations like that. So we did do a couple of adjustments tactically. We tried to set up a different pressing shape, get a little bit more pressure on their 3 centre-backs as they were controlling the game. So we discussed that, but quite frankly, if you don't give those 2 moments away as a team, yes, they had some of the ball and some opportunities, but you might go into the half at 0-0, and then you never know from there. So have to be much better when we defend for longer periods of times, and then you finally win it. You can't just give the ball away every single time. The top teams in this league will punish you, and we saw that twice tonight.
And then in attack, did you think our attackers did enough to get in behind, or what would you have liked to see?
I mean, I haven't seen any of the data or any of the stats, so I can only speak kind of what I feel is we just as a group wasn't good enough on the ball tonight. I'm not going to isolate any single player, because if we can't get in behind the last line, maybe it's the defender's fault on the ball and can't play out of it. Maybe it's the midfielder's fault and we can't connect enough passes. So it's a collective tonight on the ball for us. We have to have players that are more brave playing in these types of events and situations and getting on the ball and playing out of it. We didn't have that tonight.
Go to Tom, real quick.
This makes it official that you're eliminated from playoff contention, but it's been obvious that this is coming for some time. But does it hit you in any way when it becomes official that you're out of it?
No, because mathematically we knew the situation we were in several weeks ago. It was inevitable. It was going to happen. So now it's just about coming back and seeing how we as a club and the players respond this week in training. For us, it's one game that I felt we were dominated in a lot of moments of the game. But when I look now at how we prepare for Austin next week, it's a team that we can go out and beat. So for us now, it's still nothing changes. The objective is to pick up 6 points in the last 2 games and try and push ourselves into a position of finishing the season strong and trying to build momentum as we go into 2026.
Is Falou okay?
I haven't heard anything. I mean, it was a situation where we had to. He makes the tackle. I think with Bawanga may have just slipped on him or stood on him. Tried to shake it off for 5-10 minutes, but inevitably we made the decision to get him off the field. But I haven't spoke to my medical team yet.
Did it look like Songbin was like really pumped up for tonight's game? He looked like he was, for a guy who runs a lot, looked like he was running a lot.
Yeah, I think so. He knew the occasion. He knew there'd be a lot of his home country watching the game. He's coming up against obviously a player that everyone admires. So I don't think he had to have any more extra motivation to play tonight. Let's put it that way. Starts the game off very well. If he gets to that ball early and puts it in the corner, first couple of minutes of the game, we're probably looking at a completely different football game. But it wasn't meant to be for us tonight.
Critch, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Hi, Marcel. LAFC looked to be clearly the better team tonight. What was it like out there going up against them?
Yeah, in the end we have to be honest to ourselves and have to say that LAFC was the better team with the ball, against the ball. So they deserved the win for sure. But we was preparing very well before the game. We want to come out and play forward, play with courage out from the back, not just kicking the ball away. But we have to be honest to ourselves that it was not enough today.
What's the impact when they get that first goal? They go up 1-0 there 15 minutes in.
I mean, if they're going front with this team, with this speed, and they're a team that can play with the ball, but they can also go and sit back and go for transition. So this is hard if they score the first goal to come back in the game. But it was two goals in the first half. There was too easy. There was like presence for them, and we have to learn out of it and do it next game better.
Are Son and Bawanga just two players who are really tough to stop?
Yes, 100%. Yeah. I mean, if you look at the last 4 games now, all the goals these two guys scored. So that's enough to say about these two guys.
15 goals in 4 games.
Yes.
Justin?
Marcel, it seemed like both midfields were doing a lot of running out there, a lot of battling. Like, did it just feel like a game where you were going to have to win that midfield battle for the scoreline to reflect that?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, there was playing a lot of between the lines in the middle to their sixes. And we had, in some situation, like a 50-50 duel, and the 50-50 duel won the most LAFC. And, I mean, if you lose all the time, this 50 duel is going a bit in your head. Oh, come on, again and again and again. We have to go for it. But this was not the only problem we had today. We had too many passes. We are not connecting when we win the ball. This we have to do better in the next games, because we put so much effort defensively against a very, very good team. And when we win the ball, it can't happen that we lost the ball so easy, because then you stand on the field and we lose it, and okay, now it's another 1 minute maybe where you have to defend and get the ball back.
After the past 2 weeks of playing better and getting the results, then to come to this game or the end of the season, is this just kind of a reminder of what still needs to happen, that you can't get complacent?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we come out very good 2 away games. We had the confidence was on our side, but we have to be honest to ourselves today, and this was not enough. LAFC is one of the best team in the MLS, of course, but this we have to go out and play also against a team from LAFC with much more confident, like with self-courage, that we go out and say, hey, we beat this team. We go out and there will no chance. We are home. We have our friends on our back, and this was missing today a bit.
Tom, we'll finish with you.
Was it really physical out there? Was it, or I don't know if chippy is a word in German, but it seemed like chippy. There was a lot of, after the whistle, or a lot of contact, a lot of pushing, shoving, kicking. Was it like that? It looked like it.
I don't know if in German it's chippy.
Chippy. It's your word for the day. So
Okay, thank you.
It's a chippy game when there's a lot of fouling going on.
No, but yeah, of course. I mean, we knew what happened with especially with Song and Bwanga, and in the midfield we had a lot of contact duels, but the most of the duels LAFC won, or the important ones. We did too many easy mistakes, what hurt us a lot, and but yeah, for sure it was a tough game.
And now that you're officially eliminated, does that change anything mindset-wise? I mean, the chances were so slim before, but does it hit you in any way? Okay, now it's official that it's over?
I mean, yeah, of course. We started the season with much more. We want to be much more successful. We don't make the playoff last season, and we started the season to go for the playoffs, and we missed it again. It's very disappointing for the club, for us as a team, and now we have to go in the last 2 games to do our best. We have to prepare well, and in the best way we get 6 points for this club, and especially for the coaching staff.
We'll have one more on Zoom. Rocky, go ahead.
Yeah, Marcel, you talked about the lack of connecting the passes in the midfield. Is that the midfield being just not taking care of the ball enough, or is there a lack of maybe movement off the ball, that the passes you guys need to open up just aren't there, and that's why you may be forcing things that aren't happening? Is it an execution factor? Is it a run factor? What's the issue? Why aren't the passes happening?
So at first we have to say we defend a lot. We had a period where we defend like 1 minute, and then we win the ball. We run away from left to right and front, back, and if you win then the ball, of course we are a bit tired. This is normal, but even if we are tired, we have to be calm. We have to find our guys, and yeah, this is maybe a point where the movement is very important. That also guys show up and take the responsibility to receive the ball, and yeah, so it's all of that a bit.
Cello, thank you.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Coming off the last 2 games and wins on the road, how disappointing is tonight?
Yeah, very disappointing. I mean, we obviously wanted to win the game. We wanted to put LAFC in a tough game, and I think we didn't do that at all. LAFC was the way better team, and yeah, was a well-deserved win for them.
Just reinforce how big that gap is between you guys and a team like LAFC?
Yes and no, because we've proven in the past, like so many times, that we are good enough to keep up with the best teams in the league. But it also shows that against a team like that, you can't allow yourself to make mistakes like that, because they are so good. They're going to punish you right away. And I think, like, if you if you play like that, a really good team like LAFC shows you, how good they are, and they put you in your place.
And you guys obviously had the goal coming into the season, making the playoffs. And while it's been obvious for a while, tonight it becomes official that you've been eliminated. How does that hit you to know it's now official? You're not going to the playoffs this season.
Well, to be honest, we all we're just focused on game to game, winning every game, and our focus wasn't over the last couple of games that we will talk about and say like we still want to make it to the playoffs. We just wanted to be a hard-working, humble team that is like hungry to win every single game. We had two wins, thankfully, but tonight we just let it slip. Obviously, it's disappointing because St. Louis, City is a club that wants to be a playoff team, and I think we should be. This club, gives us all the resources, and I think this club has so much potential, and we do everything next year to get there.
Justin.
I mean, maybe one of the biggest things that this club has improved on over the last half of the season is just some of the fight towards the end of this game. I feel like at the final 20 minutes, and some of that is LAFC maybe backing off a little bit. But can you talk a bit about the end of the game and just kind of what you saw out there?
Yeah, to be honest, I said it from the very start, and I keep saying that when the coaching change happened, a new coach takes over in the middle of the season, didn't have a preseason, and a lot of things, you are catching up. You are trying to fix a lot of things, and I think there were a lot of things to fix, and I think fitness was one of them. And over the last couple of games, we've proven that we are actually fitter, that the team is fitter, healthier, and I think the data backs that up. We saw so many times that we outran other teams, that we were having like one of the highest sprints, distance, whatever it may be, and I think over the last couple of weeks, you are actually seeing that this team has improved a lot, and a lot of the things that we needed to fix, we have fixed, and there are still things to work on.
And then it seemed like the midfield battle was pretty physical out there. Was that kind of what you felt as LAFC were making a lot of runs to the middle, especially defending, and you were doing a lot of work staying back from the line as well?
Yeah, LAFC put us in a tough game from the very start. I didn't feel like I was really in the game. They had a lot of ball possession. They moved the ball very well. They were in good spaces, and we just weren't there. I think in the crucial moments we weren't there. We made big mistakes. They punished us for us, and like sometimes I think I really felt that in the game how the momentum was also on LAFC's side. In terms of like 50-50 balls, they always came back to them. I remember like Durkin 3 or 4 times intercepted and actually won the ball, and somehow it got back to them. And it's obviously frustrating. And when you are not getting on the ball and then something like that happens, it's mentally even tougher. And then obviously said it from the very start. A team like that, like LAFC, they can play terrible for 90 minutes, but then you have such quality up top with Bouanga and Son. They need one moment, and they're going to punish you for that.
We'll go on Zoom with Rockio.
Hey, I do. Marcel talked about it a little bit. You mentioned the frustration there as well. Just a lot of the times you guys were defending for such long periods of time, and then anytime you would get the ball, it would usually result in a quick turnover, and that led to a couple of goals. What was the issue tonight? Was it a lack? Were people not making the right? Were people not opening themselves up? Were they just taking away the midfield completely? What was the issue for you guys in the midfield?
Yeah, I think we were just very sloppy on the ball. I think we didn't have a thought already behind when we received the ball, what the next move is, and then oftentimes we just played a long ball and expected our wingers to win the long balls against their tall, strong defenders, and obviously that didn't work out. And I think that's on us. We had a clear game plan, and we didn't execute it well. We were just very sloppy on the ball, and I feel like the guy on the ball oftentimes was the poorest guy on the pitch, because we kind of seemed, especially in the first half, we kind of seemed intimidated. And yeah, a team like that also smells that and takes advantage of that. And I mean, especially when you are down 2-0 and then 3-0, there is nothing to lose anymore. You just have to go after it. You just have to try. And especially that's our philosophy. We want to be a ball possession team. We want to be good on the ball. And then, yeah, you have to have the mentality and the bravery to want every single ball. And you have to have the mentality to not be scared of doing mistakes, because sometimes that happens. But you just got to continue. That happens also to the best teams in the world.
Look over here.
Hi, Jun Lee from Fairpoint Football. So you talked about the high quality of the players you faced today, and obviously Son coming into the league. There's been a lot of interest with the two of them up front, scoring a lot of goals, assisting a lot of goals between them. Was it any, from a preparation standpoint, different tactically? I think you talked about it a little bit, having a solid game plan, but did you also have a different mindset maybe approaching the game today?
Yeah, I think what we said, like a against a team like LAFC, like you have to be there in every moment, because like a guy like Bouanga, a guy like Son needs one moment in the game and they can change the game, you know. I think that is one thing, and we didn't want to give up space in behind, but then we didn't execute that so well, because then we gave up a lot of space in the middle and the gap was huge. And they always broke the pressing up top. They had the chance to turn and then just go straight to on our defenders, and then we had to chase the ball all the way back.
Thank you very much.
We'll finish with Tom. Are you good? I do. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.